Ramakatha Rasavahini, Prema Sudhamritavahini, Sathya Sanatani Dharma Swarupini, Shanti Pradayini Mokshakarini, Ramakatha Rasavahini, Ramakatha Rasavahini.
Sai Ram, everyone. We'll get started with a prayer. Om. 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 Sai Ram, everyone. Just recapitulating what we studied the last week. So the last week we had seen how Mother Kaushalya, she was going through that beautiful phase of Rama's Bala Leelas or Bala Kridas, where Lord Rama was constantly showing his divinity, and Mother Kaushalya, she was trying to understand whether it is a dream or whether it is a reality. She was trying to check with her maids whether what she saw was also something what was seen by them. But they would always say that the child was asleep, but she was seeing it differently. So much so that she would keep convincing herself that yes, they were of divine origin, born of the payasam that came from the fire. But at the same time, she couldn't stop herself from falling at the feet of her child. But at the same time, when she fell at the feet of her child, the thoughts came in what others would think if they were to see her doing such a thing. So she would again look up and then act as if she was praying to God to protect her son. And in her mind also, she would pray to the Lord to take away all of the Maya that is surrounding all of this. And even as we were going through this discussion, the question came up, was it only Mother Kaushalya who had seen this divine aspect? Did others see it? And in that context, we discussed about how in one of the interviews, Swami had mentioned about how Lord Rama had asked Mother Kaikeyi to actually, if she truly loves him, she should go ahead and ask for those boons to send him to the forest. And then we moved on to the discussion where why is it being said here that Kaushalya is not able to share all of those with her other queens, that is Sumitra or Kaikeyi, because before the birth of the children, they were all like sisters, each one so close with the other. But then what happened here? Why was she not able to share? And we said, no, it was not out of that feeling that she is not able to share. It was more from, it should not appear that it is a mother who is simply extolling or bragging about her son. And then I think we concluded on a note where it was more of when Siddhartha goes out along with the charioteer into the wide world. He sees old age, disease, and death. And from there, he became Buddha, where he saw ordinary things that anybody sees. And for him it was extraordinary and made him go all the way to nirvana. But in our case, when Swami was here, even when we were seeing extraordinary things like Lingodbhavam or the Vibhuti Abhishekam, we were like, okay, what is next? This happened today. What is coming up next? Kind of a thing. So sometimes we reduce the extraordinary aspects into something that became ordinary, possibly in our lives. Something similar to what Mother Kaushalya was going through when she was thinking, is it extraordinary? Is it something that was only coming to her eyes and not to others, and so on? That's where I think we concluded last week. I'll just see if anyone else has any other thoughts, comments, and then hand this over to Aruna. I just wanted to sum up what we had from last week, and with that, I'll pass this on to Aruna and Auntie Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Sai Satish, thanks for the summary. I missed last week's discussion, but I guess I have one slide up on the screen. This was this screen which you discussed.
Yes, sir. This was the one that we discussed. We concluded on this one the last time, and then
Okay, I think maybe we can read. And I don't know whether Uncle Gopalan will be able to read or
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, everyone. The childhood of Rama was simple but sublime part in his life. Very often, forgetting that he was her child, Kaushalya fell at his feet and folded her palms before him, knowing he was divine. Immediately, she feared what people would say if they saw her bowing before her own child and touching its feet in adoration. To cover up her confusion, she looked up and prayed aloud, Lord, keep my child away from harm and injury. She used to close her eyes in contemplation of the divine child and begged God that she might not waver in her faith through the vagaries of his Maya, power of delude. She was struck by the halo of light that encircled his face. He was afraid that others might question his sanity if he told them her experiences, nor could she keep them to herself. She was so upset that she can often that she behaved often in a peculiar manner, as if carried away by the thrill of the divine sport of her child. Sometimes she was eager to open her heart to Sumitra or Kaikeyi when they were near her, but she controlled herself lest they doubt the authenticity of experience and attribute to its exaggeration, or her desire to extol her son, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Anyone would like to comment on anything? If not, we can continue on. Yes, Sai Ram, Sanjay.
Sai Ram, Aruna, welcome back. Good to see you. Quick question. I had a question while the second reading was going on just now as Uncle was reading. It says here, she was eager to, oh, nor could she keep them to herself, the experiences, right? And she was eager to open her heart to Sumitra or Kaikeyi. The question is, an experience of the divine or getting exposed to an aspect of divinity is such a valuable treasure. how do I put this? And I hope it comes through correctly. See, if I come up across a pile of gold or money, very unlikely I am going to go around town telling everyone I've come up upon this treasure. What is it? What is different in the human psychology where when it comes to those things we are not willing to not ready to share or announce it to the world. We keep such things to ourselves. But when it comes to um, these experiences, we want to tom it from the rooftops. Um, what I don't know if it's making sense at all, but I was wondering what is it that makes us want to share one, keep talking about it, and one we don't. Um, I don't know if it's making any sense, but I figured I would ask here. Uh,
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you very much. Anyone would like to share any thoughts, please? Yes, Brother Rohit.
Sai Ram uncle. So, Swami has spoken about this to in Dr. John Hislop's book about it was related to sharing one's experiences. So, Swami had said, like, I'll just quote Swami. Swami had said that I'll just read it out. Experiences can be communicated among ourselves or to ourselves, or even to those who evince delight in listening to them and are eager to share. But if they are announced in public to whomsoever may listen, they may not be seen in true light. They might even be misinterpreted or ridiculed. Those who are hungry will themselves come seeking places where food is available. Those who have no hunger will not be impressed even when a variety of tasty dishes is placed before them. Thank you. I just read what Swami had said about this thing. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Rohit. Anyone else would like to discuss this? Yes, Brother Shanti Kumar.
So Swami has said in, I think it's Prema Vahini, if you have diamonds, you wouldn't share it in the fish market. So it's something that's really precious, as brother said, only people, it's only certain people will appreciate. So probably mother, it was so precious for Mother Smitra. It wasn't, she was hesitant that that delight might be taken away if someone says something, if someone doesn't believe it, that she felt it should be kept within herself. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, sister. Anyone else? Yes, Sai Satish.
Paramana, I think already it's been told, but anyway, one is, of course, in terms of she herself is in that doubt whether is it um, a vision or is it a dream. So it's still evolving in her own mind, and that's where I think Swami has said when we are savoring those experiences, it's still in a sapling stage. So when we go and share it with somebody, and it is still evolving in us and building, taking roots, somebody slighting that may in fact cause damage to us by sharing. It may cause further doubt and confusion in our mind. Once, of course, it takes root and that sapling becomes a tree in itself, which is well nourished, then the roots of faith have, because here she is bowing down to the child and then she is worried about what others will think, and then she is looking up at the sky and then doing that. That means it's still taking root in her, and so sharing at that point with somebody who is not aware of it could could have inputs or comments coming that could only shaken that up. That is one aspect. Maybe if she was going to Vashishta, it would have been different for consultation. That is one aspect. And secondly, again, I don't know how much, but somebody like Mother Yashoda would have, even if she was going through these experiences, possibly at that time she would have had Ramayana as a reference or some fallback on. But for Mother Kaushalya, literally, she is the baseline kind of a thing for that kind of. So a reference point for Vatsalya Bhakti also becomes, especially when as a queen in the thick of things, it would have been all the more challenging for her at that point since there was no yardstick or reference point. So both these um, things come to mind. And on a third level, there is a story Swami tells actually that of a cowherd, a little boy who finds a shiny gem. He sees that and he thinks it's a glass piece. He takes that and ties it to one of his calf, and then he finds a lot of joy in it. There's a passing by merchant who comes and he tells this boy, "Give me that gem, I'll give you 5 rupees," or something of that kind. The boy is very innocent, so he gives off that gem to that person. And even as that business person is carrying that gem in his hand and going away, the gem shatters. And before it shatters, it tells him that that boy didn't know the value of it, so it was fine. And he adorned me around that neck of that calf, which was perfectly fine for me. But you knew the value and you just got it for a pittance, you got it. And that's why I now have to leave you, kind of a thing, and it just breaks or shatters. So I was just trying to say that savoring the value of what's being received is also equally important, which will ensure that it is sustained. But I'll stop here. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sai Satish. I'm reminded of a verse from the Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about his devotees. In that he says, Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhiyantaha Parasparam Kathayantascha Tushyanti cha Ramante cha, like that. What he says is, my devotees are always talking about me, discussing me, and they are only thinking of me, and the entire life is actually focused on myself. Something of that sort, Krishna is saying. So, the urge for the devotees to sing the praises of the Lord, or share the leelas of the Lord, I think is a time immemorial urge. Just the way we like to share worldly things also with others. And the natural tendency also is to share anything related to the Lord also with somebody who is of the same wavelength, or who is also will share the same ideas, because that also has its own ability to strengthen the faith, enhance the joy, and so on. So I think devotees have from time immemorial shared this. But I think what happens is the intention with which we share, I think, matters. If it is a sense of superiority, or something which I have possessed others don't have, type of thing can give rise to certain negative traits. And I think that's where Swami would say, don't try to peddle it for cheap popularity. devotee is not necessarily interested in cheap popularity. They just want to share and enjoy it. I think in the case of Kaushalya, sometimes they say, sometimes when you don't have anyone, you have to dig a pit and you have to say it aloud in the pit and then close it. Even sometimes secrets are very difficult to manage. So I think that must have been an inner urge to share and enjoy what she's perceiving. I think may have come across Kaushalya. But, her own worldly understanding of how the people may perceive or process that information, I think made her hesitant to share that. That's the way I see it. Of course, later on, Krishna is also telling, don't share all what you have heard from me with all and sundry. I think that applies to even Swami's teachings. Many of us, we want to minimize Swami's divinity also, because we think the world will, look askance of our own sanity. So I think it's a mixture. I think each one has to decide what we are doing, how we can share, with whom we can share, and so on, I guess. Those are some thoughts, Sai Ram. Yes, Rohit.
Yes, Uncle, to add to these couple of points about the intention behind, and I think Sister was mentioning some time back about that Swami had mentioned about the marketplace thing. So actually, there was a discourse. I think it was in the 1970s. I'll just read it out. Swami speaks exactly about this. So Swami, I'm gonna speak out what I read out what Swami had said in that discourse. Swami says, spiritual attainments shun publicity. Spiritual practice is to be done in silence, away from public gaze. The name and form of God are extolled by Meera as precious gems. Precious gems are not brought out as wares to the marketplace. Only vegetables are exhibited for all to see. The units of our organization should not encourage pomp or show, for they are alien to the spiritual path. So this ends what Swami had said. So as Swami is mentioning, I think, yeah, like anything show off related is, especially spiritual attainments, is definitely something that we should not partake in or encourage. But here, in the case of Mother Kausalya, I think the intention is, if it's like just a mother being excited that her child is, the excitement of a mother's love, right? Or is it that? I think the question is it that, or is it she is feeling good about herself that she has a divine son? So I guess the follow-up question to this would be, what do we think is the intention behind Mother Kaushalya's desire to share? Thank you, Sarah.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram Arun. Hello.
I think Anna's video is frozen, Auntie. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
now it is back. Yes, Anna, we can see you.
I wanted to read out that sentence after that. Her desire to extol her own son. How Swami has written, తన కుమారుడు గొప్పవాడిని ప్రదర్శించుటకై ఇట్టి కథలు కల్పించి మా కుమారులను ఏమి శక్తి లేని వారులుగా చేయుచున్నడని భావింతురేమో అని వారులతో కూడా చెప్పటకు కౌసల్య వెనక ముందాడిను. See, the reason why she did not say this to them was she puts herself in their shoes and she thinks, I am extolling my son's greatness, and they may think, their children are not up to that greatness. So they should not feel that way. They should not feel that their children are less great. They are not showing their divinity much more than Rama, Sri Rama. That's the reason why she did not tell. I think that clears the picture here. I feel so. Sai Ram Arun.
Thank you very much, Auntie. So I think we can see Kaushalya, even though she felt like sharing, she was also aware of the potential for others to see it as ostentation, that her own son is great. So because of that, she was diffident in sharing. So I think she was fully aware that it should not be misconstrued by others, and so I think she held back. Thanks, Auntie. Yes, Ron, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, just going back to the point about using discretion in terms of sharing one's personal experiences with others. In the Bible, Jesus said in a very blunt way, "Don't throw your pearls before swine." That's all. It doesn't fit all that well. We're just talking about Kausalya, which is a very well put experience, but I just thought I'd put out there because we were just talking about that subject. That's all. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Ron. Thanks. Yes, Sai Satish.
Sorry, Amanda. I was just seeing two aspects. One is at the level of the world, where Mother Kaushalya obviously is putting herself in the shoes of the other two queens and seeing. And another aspect is, which is beyond the world and beyond the mind, because these are spiritual experiences. How can you put something that is beyond the mind into words and explain? And so people will not even relate to it. Because it is again something that is it's deeply felt in the core of the heart. So how can the mind explain something which will again limit that experience? And from her thing also, it's like, yeah, because certain areas, like she acts as if she's completely lost to the ways of the world, which really tells her that she's not. She's having those kind of experiences that possibly sages and saints who have meditated for thousands of years will have that experience. She's having those experiences on a day-to-day basis in that proximity of the Lord. So sometimes, like when that high current is flowing through I'm not here to gauge Mother Kaushalya's thing, but then the frailty to which she's experiencing that will also shake her up, which cannot again be expressed through words. So one is at the worldly level, putting herself in the shoes of the two queens, where of course they may not understand at the physicality of how things are. But second is, it's a completely divine experience. So I just wanted to say that as well. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Sai Ram, Sanjay, I don't know whether anything much came out of our discussion, but
No, it was very nice. Thank you. I really enjoyed all the points. Very nice. Thank you.
I think then shall we move on? Yes, Uncle Gopal.
Sai Ram. At last, one day, she made bold to relate to Emperor Dasharatha the entire story of wonder and thrill. He listened intently and said, "Lady, this is just the creation of your fancy. You are over fond of the child. You imagine he is divine and watches every moment and action in that light, and so he appears strange and wonderful. That is all." This reply gave her no satisfaction. So the emperor consoled her with some specious arguments and sent her to her apartments. In spite of what Dasharatha affirmed, the queen, who had witnessed the miraculous incidents with her own eyes, remained unconvinced. She was not convinced by his words. Therefore, she approached Preceptor Vasishtha and consulted him on the genuineness of her experience. He heard her account and said, "Queen, what you have seen is unalloyed truth. They are not creations of your imagination. Your son is no ordinary human child. He is divine. You got him as your son, as the fruit of many meritorious lives. That the savior of humanity should be born as a son of Kausalya in the unique good fortune of the citizens of Ayodhya. He blessed the queen profusely and departed. Kausalya realized the truth of Vasishta's statement. She knew that her son was divinity itself. She derived great joy watching the child. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Auntie, we can read the Telugu.
Okay, sure.
Sita Ram, can you translate, please, if you are available?
Yeah.
Sai Ram Anna, I think Satyeshana was doing last time. Anna, please go ahead.
Okay.
Either way is fine, Sitaram. Doesn't
Go ahead,
matter.
Anna. If something is missing, I'll add to that. It's a learning process for all of us. That's why.
Even for me also. Anyway.
Go ahead.
కడకు ఎటులనో ధైర్యము చేసుకొని ఒకనాడు
One day, having drawn upon some courage, at last,
దశరథునకు జరిగిన ఆశ్చర్య వినోద వింతలన్యూ తెలుప. Where is it? Am I reading the proper thing? Yes.
Yes, Auntie. Yeah.
కడుకు ఎటులనో ధైర్యము చేసుకుని ఒకనాడు దశరథునకు జరిగిన ఆశ్చర్య వినోద వింతలన్యూ తెలుప దశరథుడు విని సంతసించి. ఇట్స్ అ బిగ్ సెంటెన్స్. ఐ విల్ డివైడ్ ఇట్ ఇంటూ స్మాల్ థింగ్. కడకు ఎటులనో ధైర్యము చేసుకొని
At last, drawing upon some courage,
ఒకనాడు దశరథునకు జరిగిన ఆశ్చర్య వినోద వింతలన్నీయో తెలుప.
one day to explain to Dasharatha all of the wondrous happenings.
దశరథుడు విని సంతసించి.
After listening to it, Dasharatha Santasinchi,
was happy.
He was happy. Okay.
దేవి ఇవన్నీయు నీ వ్యామోహములు.
Devi, all these are your imaginations.
పుత్ర వాత్సల్యముచే నిరంతరము కుమారుని దైవముతో పోల్చుకొని.
Because of your motherly affection towards your child, and since you're continuously observing him,
కుమారుని దైవముతో పోల్చుకొని. She is comparing him to God.
Yeah, okay.
పోల్చుకొని చింటి చుంటచే ఆ విధముగా.
Sorry, Auntie,
చింటి చుంటచే ఆ విధముగా.
Yeah, you're thinking in that manner because of that.
Yeah. నీ కంటికి కనిపించుచుండవచ్చునని.
Your eyes are seeing in that manner.
ఆమెను పూర్తి నిరాశయందు ముంచక.
Not making her disappointed.
పూర్తి నిజమున.
The complete truth.
తెలుపక. పూర్తి నిజమని తెలుపక.
Without informing that it is complete truth.
కొంత తృప్తి పడినట్లు చెప్పి.
With as if to just satisfy in a little manner.
తృప్తి పడినట్లు చెప్పి పంపెను.
Yeah, he spoke to her in a satisfying manner and sent her.
దశరథుడు ఎన్ని చెప్పినను.
How much ever was told by Dasharatha.
కండ్లార చూచిన తల్లి కనుక.
Because she saw it with her own eyes, the mother.
ఆమెకు ఏమాత్రమునో తృప్తి కాక.
She was not satisfied in any manner.
దశరథుని మాటలను నమ్మలేక.
Without believing in Dasharatha's words.
సమయమును పురస్కరించుకొని.
looking for an opportune time,
గురువుతో తెలిపెను.
she shared this with the Guru.
గురువు ఆలోచించి,
The Guru thought about it.
రాణి, నీవు గాంచినవన్నీయు పరమ సత్యములు.
O Queen, whatever you have seen are absolute truth.
ఇవి భ్రాంతులు కావు.
This is not an imagination.
కౌమారుడు సామాన్య మానవ మాత్రుడు కాడు.
Your son is not an ordinary human being.
దేవతా అంశము.
He is a part of the divine.
ఇది మీ జన్మ జన్మల పుణ్య ఫలము.
This is the fruition of several births of merit.
లోకోద్ధారకుడు కౌసల్య నందనుడగుట.
The emancipator of the world being the son of Kaushalya.
అయోధ్య వాసుల అదృష్టము.
It is a great good fortune of the denizens of Ayodhya.
అని ఆశీర్వదించి వెళ్ళిపోయాను.
Thus, blessing her so, he left.
That's it. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Auntie and Sai Satish. Sai Ram, everyone. I'll open it up for anyone to discuss any of the points which we have read. So at last, Kaushalya was able to share, a bit disappointing with sharing with Dasharatha, but she was fully vindicated by the words of Sage Vasishta. Yes, Beena, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, just want to mention here that divine experiences, divine thoughts, and the divine leelas, or you can only share with the same type of mind. If you are saying or sharing rather to the very worldly involved people enveloped, then it doesn't work there. So it shows clearly here when she goes to Guru Vasishta, she gets her faith further confirmed. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Beena. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Rohit.
Sai Ram, uncle, what was, I think in Telugu it's called it's written as Amsha, whereas here it's written as divine. I think it's part of the divine in Telugu. Is that correct? Or I might have misheard.
Yeah, in Telugu it says Amsha only.
So wouldn't that be a little bit different? That means it's part of the divine. But here it's saying divine. Just wanted to clarify that part.
Okay, the word Amsha, even though it's part, it contains the essence of divinity. Maybe in terms of quantity, it may be smaller, but it does not mean the quality is any less, is my understanding. I think then Swami has spoken about the various amshas and how the Rama the four brothers shared Devamsa and how the Parashurama's Devamsa merged with Rama and so on later on. So yes, I will stop here. If anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please. Sai Ram. Yes, Sitara, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, just to share some thoughts which are running through the mind as this paragraph is being read. I think we have heard many times Swami telling students and devotees that the only person who can understand the Avinabhava Sambandha between students and Swami is Swami. Not even your own parents will understand the relationship that we carry. So it is always one to one and heart to heart. I think that is what is being demonstrated here. I think as Kausalya is trying to get that satisfaction from her husband to explain to him that this is what she has seen, but only a person who has tasted it can always, I would say, respond or understand from what she's being, from what point of view she is explaining that. So I think it's a, again, Guru is the only person. Again, for us, we are fortunate enough that Swami is our Guru and everything in that sense, who has always acknowledged that I know what you're thinking and I know what is your experience. And I would like to just share one personal experience of mine. I think when Sanjay brother was asking, I was thinking whether to share this or not, but because it's a close group, in one of the private sessions that I had with Swami, at the end of it, Swami told me that అందరూ నిన్ను ఏం జరిగిందని అడుగుతారు, ఎవ్వరికి ఏమీ చెప్పొద్దు, స్వామి చెప్పొద్దు అని చెప్పారని చెప్పు. Translating it to English, Swami at the end of the interview, after about 40 minutes of interview, he has told me, he has given me an instruction saying that everyone around would ask you what Swami has told you, what happened inside. Tell them that Swami told not to tell anything. So there were a couple of, like, not couple, I think more than a few individuals, brothers who came around and asked, brother, what happened inside? Can you share with me, right? So when I told them that this is what Swami has told, I could see the disappointment in the faces, and I could also sense that this guy is feeling off too much, you know. At that point of time, my maturity was only that much. But I think with time, as I kept ruminating over that instruction from Swami, I think just like Kausalya's trait, I think we wanted some external validation that this is what is Swami. You know, if somebody tells after telling this experience, how would they look upon us? You know, that kind of mentality is very immature at that point of time. But as time passed, and with various satsangs and various interactions with devotees, senior devotees like all of you here, I think all I learned is it is very important for us to digest every word that Swami has told. There are so many levels to it. One instruction, one word has so many instructions, so much time span to it. So hence sharing with others with caution is important. So I think back to Sanjay brother's question, where one would share, go up on the mountain and shout about experience, I would say no. We would not share our experiences right away with everyone. Though our heart expands so much that it wants to cry out about that experience and tell everyone, but we still need to hold on to it and digest it as much as possible so that we become closer and closer to him and one with him at some point of time. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sitaram. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please? Yes, Sai Satish.
Ramana, based on what Sitaram was saying, just triggered some thoughts. So one, we know about how, I think if I'm not wrong, it is Ramanujacharya, I think is before he becomes the Acharya, when his guru gives a mantra and says, don't tell it to anybody, he goes to the top of the Gopuram, stands there and shouts out that mantra to everybody, saying, listen to this. And then everybody comes and says, what are you doing? Your guru gave it to you. How are you shouting at the top of your voice and revealing it to everybody? He says, because they say you will go to hell. If you do that, you will go to hell. That's what will happen. He says, okay, if all of you go to heaven and only I need to go to hell, I'm fine with that. And so that's where I was thinking, I think it is so important. Like, again, based on what Sitaram mentioned of like how on one end, even as we are growing, how we should have the maintain the, it's not secrecy but sanctity of what the guru gives to help us in our growth, and other end how when that has become a conflagration, how the disciple goes and just speaks about it with that kind of a thing, like what you mentioned earlier, Anna, like how a devotee will always continuously speak of the Lord, about the Lord, and it's not as a show off, nothing as a this thing, but it's being spoken with that intensity, that it's pure love for God and love for His creation, which is the rest of the fellow beings. So that was another perspective that just triggered when this was being shared. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Thank you very much. On this not wanting to share with the world, many times people who are diffident about sharing Swami's divinity use this as an excuse also. They will say Swami doesn't need publicity. We don't need to mention Swami's name. We will just speak about his values, things like that. So, we should ask ourselves what the intention is. What is the mental makeup when we decide to share or not to share? There's one Christmas discourse, now that Christmas is at hand, in which Swami says, many of you guys are like Peter. When Peter was asked by the guards who were arresting Jesus whether he knew him, he said, I don't know him. Then he says, I want messengers like Hanuman. He went to the Lanka, in front of Ravana, and when he was asked, he said, Dasoham Kaushalendrasya. So that's what the Swami has said. So I think we should always look at what our mental inclinations are, urges are. And I think all that matters. As you can see, Kaushalya spoke to Dasharatha and got disappointed. Nirasha is the word Swami has used. But then she shared with Vasishta and that she also needed confirmation whether she was sane or not. Also, I think that was another thing for Kaushalya. So when one's faith itself is budding, it needs sometimes confirmation from the Lord also. So stop there. I think we have looked at in multiple ways, and each of us can decide what we do with what we know, what we have. Sai Ram, Sanjay, please go ahead.
No, this is so coincidental that today's Sai Inspires, as a matter of fact, touches on this exact topic. Swami talks about there is fire in a small incense stick, and there is fire in a forest. Swami says the same fire is there in both, but if you bring up a bunch of logs and put it on the incense stick, the logs will not catch fire. The fire in the incense stick will go away. Whereas the forest fire that's burning, tender leaf, even green leaf that flows into will burn away, right? So Swami talks about nurturing and maturing the love for God within oneself before going and seeking it in the company of others. So I think even from Sitaram's experience, which is beautiful, it almost feels like because love for God cannot be developed in groups. That has to be a one-on-one. It can be enjoyed in groups, but the individual love for God has to be first cultivated and nurtured and developed as an individual. It has to be strengthened, but then it can be enjoyed together in groups. We talk about each other's experiences and bring about joy in sharing it. but that initial step has to happen, and that's almost how I kind of understand Swami's instructions in what Sita Ram said. It's like give it time to marinate, give it time to mature, give it time to blossom in your own heart. And then the words that come out from that will be 100 times more powerful and impactful to the people that hear it from you, versus just narrating it as an incident. That's what I take away from it. But really enjoyed this discussion. Thank you all. You're muted.
Okay, thank you, Sanjay. Does anyone more like to discuss any of the other any points in here? If not, we will move on. I'm sure Swami will cover many of this again and again. Sai Ram, Uncle Gopal.
Sai Ram. Months rolled by. The children Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Satruguna learned to crawl on all fours, sit on the floor, and move about. Special arrangements were made to keep watch over them at all times, lest they fall and hurt themselves. Many varieties of toys were procured and placed before them. The mothers with their children, the children with the mothers and nursemaids spent the days with no sense of passage of time. In one continuous round of joy, the children could raise themselves up and stand, holding fast the fingers of mother or maid. They could hold on to the wall and get up. They could toddle forward a few steps on their feet. Their efforts and achievements gave merriment to their mothers. Their lips, in sweet parrot voice, a few indistinct words, and made them burst into laughter. They taught them to say Ma, Bab, and were happy when they pronounced the words correctly. Every day at dawn, they rubbed medicated fragrant oil over their bodies. Then they applied detergent powder and bathed them in holy waters of Sarayu. Then they dried curls in perfumed incense, applying collyrium to their eyes, and placed dots on their cheeks to ward off the evil eye, and put ritual marks on their forehead. They dressed them in attractive soft silk and helped them to recline in swings, where they slept soundly to the tune of melodious lullabies. Engage in this pleasant task. I think that it ends here.
Yes, Uncle, I think that's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Auntie, we can read the Telugu.
కౌసల్యాదేవి వశిష్ఠుల వారి మాటలను గ్రహించి
After absorbing the words of sage Vashishta, Mother Kaushalya,
విశ్వసించి
believing in those words,
కొంత తృప్తిపడి
after gaining some satisfaction,
తన కుమారుని అతిమానుష్య చర్యలను
her son's superhuman activities,
తనలో తాను తిలకించుచు
Tamil, sorry auntie, Tamil,
తనలో తాను
within herself,
she was observing it, ఆనందించుచు కాలము గడుపుచుండ
she spent her time joyously in that manner.
రామ లక్ష్మణ భరత శత్రుఘ్నులు దోగాడుట Dogarupa means to crawl on the boat.
Yeah, seeing all the four children, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna, crawling
కూర్చొనుట
and sitting,
ఇత్యాది కొన్ని నూతన అభివృద్ధులు
such of these newly developed activities,
గాంచతొడగిరి.
they began to happen.
See that, began to that.
Began to see that. Okay.
పిల్లలకు కదలి ప్రాకగల శక్తి వచ్చినదని
For the children, they gained the energy of movement.
యా ఎక్కడికైనాను ప్రాకి they may go
hither and thither.
yeah praki means here
Crawl only. To
crawling.
crawl only.
Okay, crawl. Okay.
ఎత్తు నుండి క్రింద పడుదురో ఏమని
They may fall even as they are moving about
ఫ్రమ్ హైట్ ఎత్తు
from a
నుండి.
height. Yeah.
అనుమానంతో పిల్లలను జాగ్రత్తగా చూచుకొనుటకు
With the doubt to ensure the safety of the children,
ప్రత్యేక ఏర్పాట్లు గావించిరి.
all of the undertakings were done.
అల్ల ప్రత్యేక ఏర్పాట్లు స్పెషల్
All
అరేంజ్మెంట్స్ వర్ డన్
special arrangements were done.
టు టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ ది చిల్డ్రన్. అనేక ఆట బొమ్మలను తెప్పించిరి.
They got several toys for play.
అమ్మలతో పాటు పిల్లలు,
Along with the mothers, the children,
పిల్లలతో పాటు అమ్ములు,
with the children, the mothers,
వారలతో దాదులు, the
maids also along with them.
దాదులు కాలమనునిది విచారించక
without observing the lapse of time,
కంటికి నిద్ర లేక
without sleep for the eyes,
కాలమును ఆనందముతో గడుపుచుండ
they were enjoying their time joys in a joyful manner.
పిల్లలు దాదుల అమ్ముల వ్రేళ్లు పట్టుకొని లేచి నిలవగలిగిరి.
The children holding on to the fingers of either the maids or their mothers were able to stand up.
గోడలు పట్టి లేవగలిగిరి.
They were able to hold on to the walls and stand up.
తప్పటడుగులు వేయగలిగిరి.
They were able to take their first few steps.
ఈ వింతలు అమ్మలకు మరింత ఆనందముగా ఉండెను.
Seeing all this, the mothers were extremely overjoyed.
తిరిగి తిరుగని చిలుక పలుకులు.
They were able to parrot a few words.
Some of them they could pronounce, some of them could not. Tirigi tirugani.
Oh, okay.
Some words which they could not say it properly. Chiluka palukulu. The
parrot-like words.
Parrot-like words. ఆ చిన్న పెదవులతో
with their tiny lips.
Yes. బోసి నోరులతో పలుకుచుండ.
Tiny mouths as they were trying to speak.
Yeah. అమ్మలు కడుపుబ్బ నవ్వుచుండేవారు.
The mothers would laugh heartily.
అమ్మ అప్ప అని మాటలు నేర్చుచుండేవారు.
They were learning the words such as amma and appa.
నిత్యము తెల్లవారగానే సుగంధ ద్రవ్యముల నూరి తైలమును కలిపి
every morning the fragrances were mixed with the oils and rubbed on them.
వంటికి రాచి they rubbed on their body.
Yeah, they rubbed on their body.
నలుగులు పెట్టి అంటే
they'll use the basin floor to apply to the body.
అలా ఇంక నలుగులు పెట్టి అంటే
like sikakaya.
అలా నలుగు
పెట్టి apply basin powder auntie to the entire body and then they'll rub it. It's like scraping
I know, but nalugulu here, does it mean basin?
Nalugulu petti means using various other powders. most common one is, I think, basin powder that we use for children.
ఓకే. సరయూ నది తీర్థముచే
On the banks of the Sarayu River.
తీర్థ
Okay. Oh, with the waters of the Sarayu River,
అభ్యంగ స్నానములు చేయించి
they were made to they were given bath.
సెరమోనియల్ బాత్.
Ceremonial.
తలలకు వాసనల పొగలు వేసి
They were putting the samrani thing for their hair.
కాటుక తీర్చి కన్నుకు మై.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. The kajal for the eyes.
దృష్టి చుక్కన మర్చి
The black dot to ward of the ward of the evil.
నొసటి తిలకమును వింతగా పెట్టి
On the forehead they placed tilaks. The vermilion, the mark, yeah.
అనేక రకరకములైన వస్త్రములతో
along with myriad clothes.
Colorful.
Okay, yeah, different types of clothes, colorful cloths.
అలంకరించి ఉయ్యాలలందు ఉంచి
They were decorated thus and placed in the swings.
జోలపాటలు పాడుచుండా
along with singing lullabies.
తల్లులకు వేరే వైకుంఠం ఉన్నదని మరచి
The mothers forgot that there was another Vaikunta by itself.
అదే వాళ్ళకు స్వర్గ వైకుంఠముల కంటే మిన్నగా ఉండేది.
That itself was much more than heaven to them.
Yeah. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Auntie and Sai Satish. Sai Ram, everyone. We'll open it up for discussing the various points which Swami has nicely described the step-by-step growth of the children and the joys which the mothers and the maids had.
While reading Sai Ram,
yes,
this paragraph, I was thinking, how Swami, just like a mother, how he has gone through this experience of bathing the child and then putting the tilakam and putting the kajal, everything just like a mother. He has explained it so well. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. I think it's also an opportunity for people to know what they should do with their children. It's an instruction also, I would say. Very nice. Because nowadays people forget some of these traditional Indian ways of doing things.
It's totally forgotten.
Yes. Yes, Sai Satish.
Hi, Ramana. I was just as this paragraph we were reading, on one hand, Lord Rama is giving Mother Kaushalya all of those divine experiences. And another hand, he is trying to hold her hand and try to get up and fall, hold the wall and fall, or take a few steps. Say Amma, say Appa. So, how strong are the wraps of Maya? On one hand, she herself will be like, she's seeing the Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat, like she's seeing Sarvam Ramamayam Jagat, she's seeing Rama everywhere, here, there, everywhere. And another hand, I really can, the state of her mind will be so, she has spoken no doubt to Sage Vashishta and got that understanding that all of those experiences are divine and it is verily divine who is her son. That is happening one hand, and another is that same Rama is trying to hold her finger, and so it was such a contrast that she is going through. And how the other aspect is, even if it is avatar, the avatar has to go through all of those processes that are there as he doesn't say that because I'm avatar, hop, skip and jump, I can start walking on day one. He has to do everything that any other human being does at a physicality of things, while at the Atmic level, of course, they are one with that Paramatma. So it just gave that flavor. Sai Ram.
Yeah, thank you, Sai Satish. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts? Yes, Beena.
Sai Ram, I would like to know that if similar thing anywhere it is said or heard about our Swami from Ishwarama doing such thing, or any katha about that our generation would know even afterwards. Sorry about it. This is just that came to my mind, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Beena. Anyone who would like to share any stories from Swami's own childhood? We'll open it up for discussion. Yes, Sai Satish, go ahead.
I'm very tempted to share one story. So I'd heard in one of, I think it was Prem's talks. There was one lady, one elderly lady who would come to Prashanti Nilayam for darshan, and she was looking more like a tribal person. And every time she came, Swami would ensure that she's taken into the interview room, she's well fed and sent. Every time she came, she would, and people would see that she's kind of the tribal person, the manner in which she was dressed and so on. And Swami would give a lot of importance with the way she was taken care of and sent. So somebody took the courage to ask Swami, who is this person we are seeing who's coming? And Swami said, why don't you ask her? So apparently, when one of the summertime when Swami was not in Parthi and this lady happened to come there, this person happened to see her. So he went to her and told Amma, you're so fortunate. Every time you come here, Swami always takes care of you and ensures you're fed and everything, and then only sends you. Just wanted to know how you came to know Swami. The typical discussion or question any devotee has for the other. And then she tells apparently that many years ago, a couple of decades ago, when she was going down, going beside the path, I think it was Chitravati, she's going and she sees a baby flowing away in the river. So she jumps into the river, she saves that baby, she gets it, and she has that baby with her, and then she thinks she keeps the baby with her, but then she knows this baby has come from it's fallen into the river, so she goes back into the village to find out what is the thing with this baby, and she realizes that a couple have lost this baby, and so she takes this baby and gives it back to them. And who are the couple? Pedda Venkamaraju and Ishwarama. So this baby, that what we think, we can think it's the ways of the world or whatever, but she had saved this baby who was Swami himself. We can say that she's saying Swami, or Swami gave her the opportunity to do that, however we take it. But essentially, every time she came to Pati, the Lord of the universe, who got himself into such a situation and gave this opportunity for this lady to, if he calls saving him, all that thing, every time she comes to Pati, the way Swami shows his gratitude towards her. Right? That's what you can essence from the story. Another aspect is you can also essence the how, even if it's an avatar, the avatar always goes by whatever dharma that he has laid down, God has laid down, he goes by that. So it just got to me that fact that if Swami is, as a baby, is just getting washed away in a river, he didn't say, I am the avatar, so I will use my powers or something and then come off. He just goes flowing with the river. this lady jumps into the river and kind of takes this baby and then gives it back to the parents and all of that, which goes in a normal story of if it happened to any other child, but then it brings back after that incident the way every time Swami would treat that person with a lot of gratitude despite being the avatar. So just wanted to share this one off. I heard it the other day, so I thought I'll just share. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts? Yes, Sister Shanti.
I was just thinking, this whole thing is his play. He's the director, he wrote the script. So, I was just thinking maybe this lady had earned something in her life to get the Lord's grace in some way to be in close proximity to the Lord. So Lord has to make a little drama to fall into the river, give her the opportunity to save him, and then give her the opportunity to frequently visit him and get the special treatment. In the same way, like Mother Kausalya, to raise this child, the joy of raising this child. So, he falls and gives her the joy of picking him up. It's not able to say the word correctly, and the childhood little words come up, and it's all a play is what comes to my mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sister. Anyone else?
Brother,
Yes, Brother Narendra.
brother, is this incident recorded or written somewhere? A little more I could go and read?
Sorry, brother. I can send you the reference of the talk from which I heard this.
Right.
That is one reference, and maybe we will have to check this back with the Sri Sathya Sai Media Center, since it came from. They should have a recorded version of this incident.
I would appreciate that, because it shows all the little details which happened, and vast majority of us are not aware of it, and it gives us lessons to us to how we need to conduct ourselves, and when we don't know the full story, now that we have heard to from you and from brother, that every time this lady came and Swami gave special attention, and there was a reason for it, and I'm hearing it the first time, and I'm really moved by that. Sai Ram. Thank you, brother. I would appreciate your sharing that reference with me.
Sure, brother. I'll do that. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, everyone. Anyone else would like to discuss any of the points? I think there are quite a few of Swami's stories which devotees have documented, and many of them, even Swami's own sisters, who along with Mother Ishwarama were involved in looking after Swami during his childhood. They also have shared in some of the interviews some of the experiences which they had with Swami as a child. And I think they would have been similarly challenging, like Kaushalya. They didn't know whether the Swami is the Lord or whether Swami is their brother or child. They struggled, it's a huge struggle for them, because the Maya is also very strong. You don't know how to deal with them, how to relate to the child. So I think sometimes when you're very nearby, the challenge is much more. But I think Swami's life is also full of stories like this. I think there are different people who have tried to capture. I think there are two books, maybe not that very popular now. One was written by Ra Ganapati called Swami, and I think he translated it in English. Then there was another book written by someone called M.N. Rao, if I remember correctly. The story of God as man or something like that. Some of them went to the villages, did interviews with Swami's close relatives, and have tried to document. And there were some Telugu versions also of Swami's biography written, which also contains many such stories. But I think we all should understand that the stories which we need to come to know will come to us. I think that's the way I see it. Because how much we may read, we may never exhaust Swami's life story. Every day, thousands come to Swami and have different interactions. We really don't know their life stories and Swami's interactions with them. So, but I'm sure Swami will bless us as and when we need something to strengthen our own understanding and our own faith and love for Swami. I'm sure, these study circles like this bring out sometimes gems because every devotee is reading and listening and assimilating so much. Parasparam katayanti, bodhayanti cha, as Sri Krishna says. Thank you very much. I think it's 10:17. I think we'll close the session for today. And we will continue because time will, we will also not know time. Just the way the maids and the mothers didn't know how time passed. Sai Ram, everyone. Nice having this study circle. We will meet again next week. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Thank you.
Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.
Sai Ram.
Sai
Sai Ram, thank you.
Ram. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram.